Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to Stump the Idiot. I am the huge one, aka the idiot, Dave Koco from DAVEKOCO.com or KocoSports.net. It's where the world's comes to cast, your home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. And this is from our mod to Twitch. Also at Golden Star Alex on the Twitter machine. He says Stump the Aho. Fun fact. Aho means idiot in Japanese. And there's a hockey player with the last name Aho. So for Stump the Idiot, I want to start wearing Aho jerseys. All right, here's the question. Who was the more influential wrestler? Rey Mysterio Jr. or Jushin Thunder Liger? Now, this is the toughest decision that I've ever had to make in my life, so I needed my tag team partner. My tag team partner through the thick and the thin. Boom, boom. Welcome to the Idiot Express.
Well, it's good to be here, and that is a very, very good question.
I think it's a very tough question. I mean, I really do. I'll let you go first. You're the guest. Go ahead, Booms.
Whew. You know, I don't even know if it's kind of fair because one kind of paved the road for the other, and I mean they're both still cited. God, I mean it's tough. I mean, one like Liger really brought junior heavyweight wrestling to the forefront. Him and Muda were probably the first two to actually legitimately bring Japanese style wrestling, introduce U.S. fans to the Japanese style of wrestling. Had just a hell of a career. Rey Mysterio is credited with bringing Lucha Libre to the forefront, to the U.S. audiences. He's still going today. He's still an influential character. He's the dream match for many current wrestlers. Wow, this is tough. I mean, it's really tough because I mean they're kind of like they're different, but they're the same. They're different as in they wrestled different styles, came from different parts of the world, with different backgrounds, had different conditions they had to deal with. Especially Mysterio because of his size. I know when I first saw him in ECW, it was whoa, look at this little guy, but I was like, dude, this guy can fucking go. But I remember earlier when I was a kid and I saw Liger for the first time. I mean, I was like, I might as well have been seeing Superman or a space alien or something, because I'd never seen anything like him before. I'd never seen him wrestle like that before. So it's insane. So both have all kinds of accomplishments, titles, accolades, just a lot of amazing things, but that's my piece. I'm going to speak on them now. Before I render a decision, I want you to say what you're going to say about them.
All right, first off, we were very lucky. We got to see these guys, Rey Mysterio and ECW. We got to see them both in WCW, and it's just part of history that's amazing. Both of them carried. Now, like it or not, America is the pro wrestling capital of the world, especially when it comes to entertainment and people seeing it worldwide. WWF, WCW, they did a great job spreading their content out, so they were the biggest stage. Fair or not. And Rey Mysterio brought, the Mexican style of pro wrestling to a bigger stage. Liger, with the help of Muda, brought the Japanese style of pro wrestling onto a bigger stage. So they're both groundbreaking that way. Liger was a little bit earlier, so he really helped with I don't want to junior heavyweights, cruiserweights, whatever you want to call it. We'll say the smaller wrestlers. They really helped them bring it up on a different stage. They've had amazing matches. We're doing 5 stars or better now on this channel, and to me, they've had 5 stars or better matches. Liger did so much for pro wrestling, but you also got to remember he was in Japan most of the time, So I think when you go on the world stage, I think popularity-wise, you have to give it to Rey Mysterio. But outside of popularity, that's when it comes to be even bigger. Like if you say more people know Rey Mysterio Jr. because of the stage. But Liger changed pro wrestling. he changed pro wrestling. So this is a very, very tough call. If you're going off just popularity, I think you have to give it to Rey Mysterio. But they're different, but they have a lot in common too, and they're both masked wrestlers. My son always says, if you're not a masked wrestler, it doesn't count. It's not an official match. So yeah, just to me, they're both bigger than life guys. They change the way it goes forever, and I personally love luchador. I love, lucha. I love the strong style. I love junior heavyweights. I love this style of pro wrestling. This is my favorite style of pro wrestling, and these guys were groundbreaking in my favorite styles. Boom! I'll give you your final decision, and then I'll just pick the other guy to counter. I'm just kidding. Who are you going with?
Yeah.
Does popularity
Well,
win you over? And I don't even think it's
I
that
would
popularity. I think it's worldwide popularity because of the bigger stage.
I would say that Liger had different situations to deal with. I mean, granted it was Japan, but he did really bring the junior heavyweights to another level, in my opinion. He, came over and was just mind blowing in the United States. He innovated well, I don't want to say innovated, but yeah, he did a lot of stuff that we saw for the first time, especially like the shooting press, I think it was the shooting star press. But I'm actually going to go ahead and say Rey Mysterio is a little bit more influential because while Liger started in 1984, Rey Mysterio's actually debuted in 1989 when he was just 14, and he's been all around the world doing the same thing. He did it in AAA, he did it in ECW, he did it in WCW, he did WWE, he did Lucha Underground, he did he did Puerto Rico, he did CMLL. And not only that, but I think he transcended. He was like a single star, a tag star, a trio star, but he also kind of like, despite everything, he surpassed even that. He wasn't just one thing. Whereas Liger stayed in the junior heavyweight division, either he was a junior heavyweight champion or a junior tag guy. Rey Mysterio broke out of that mold. Was more than just that. He became a world heavyweight champion. He became uh, a U.S. champion, television champion. He went out and did more things, and he's still going. He's still going strong, and and he's still going to this day. And there are people who still list him as a influence on them, as a dream match, and that's not to say that the Jushin Thunder Liger has done anything wrong. I just think Mysterio has done it just a little bit better. I mean, and this was close. I mean, this was kind of like this was like heart wrenching. It's like trying to ask a parent, which child is your favorite? Which child is your favorite? Huh? Your son or your daughter? Your son or your daughter? And you just can't decide, but you have to make a decision. So that's why I'm picking Rey Mysterio is just a little bit more influential because he traveled more around the world, exposed himself in his style of wrestling to audiences without him. I think without him, I don't think Lucha Libre would have taken off, at least not as early as it did in the United States. And he transcended just being like the little, luchador with the mask. He really got out there, did different things, got out of the comfort zone, and did. I think he's had a hell of a career, especially for his size and his ability level. I think he's just exceeded and he shattered barriers, and I think that's why he gets the nod from me.
Yeah, this is a very tough call. I'm just gonna do a counterpoint and then give my final thing. The counterpoint is, I think you're making it where he didn't win the heavyweight title and all that. As far as Liger goes, and Rey Mysterio did, I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if more people were like Liger, the cruiserweight divisions, the junior heavyweight divisions wouldn't be a laughing stock. You know what I mean? Like, how many times do you see a junior heavyweight that can be amazing, and then he's like, all right, I'm ready to go to heavyweight. I'm ready to go to heavyweight. And it's like, all right, well, then why do we have that title? So, and I don't 100% agree with that argument. I just wanted to throw out a counterpoint,
Mm-hmm.
I just think if
I mean,
you're
it should, and I should mention that he did win other championships. I mean, he won the, world heavyweight middleweight championship and All Star Wrestling. He wrestled for CMLL. He did the Universal Championship, the middleweight championship, tag team championships. He did Dragon Gate, Jersey All Pro, and Chinooku Pro Wrestling. I mean, NWA, but he, for the most part, stayed in like the junior welterweights, middleweights. He just kind of stayed in that territory.
yeah. I think this is the toughest decision we've ever had to
I
make,
mean,
and
it was
it's
tough. I
it,
mean, yeah,
I'm
it's
giving
tough,
it.
and I hope it's.
Oh, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I hope it's not coming off like I'm being disrespectful to Liger, because believe me, I love me some Liger. I remember as a kid when I saw him for the first time, he blew my mind. I'd never seen anybody wrestle like him before.
And I think both athletes have done that at some time in our life, and I think
Hmm.
both athletes blew our mind when they first came out, and they both were groundbreaking, and they both pushed barriers, and they both did amazing things. I'm only giving it to Rey Mysterio Jr. because he did it on a bigger stage. That's the only thing.
Hmm.
But there is something, I've been living in Japan too long. There is something about, hey, stay home, make it happen, stay in your weight division. So it's kind of, I'm super happy for what Liger did. And I don't want to, as a pro wrestling, proud of Liger and a fan of Liger. And I can't put Liger over enough. And it's sad because the things that he chose to do were good things. But at the end of the day, we give the nod to Rey Mysterio because he did it on the biggest stage. And now, am I, thinking to myself, am I a hypocrite because I'm always like, don't go to WWE, stay here. And then this debate comes, I'm like, oh, well, Rey Mysterio, he was on a bigger stage. So it's kind of like, man, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, from the philosopher Bart Simpson. But yeah, I'm giving it to Rey Mysterio just by the bigger stage. But this was a hell of a question, and both of them are beyond amazing. Booms, did you tell the people to like, comment, and subscribe?
Not yet. You
Did
should
you
be sure to
tell?
like, subscribe, and comment here. Make sure you actually do. Please like and subscribe to it, because right now we're in our recommendations really aren't coming up. So the only way you're going to know if we do new content is if you hit that subscribe button. Maybe even hit that notification bell whenever we do this. In the meantime, you can check out DaveKoco.com. You got KocoSports.com, KocoSports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass. And be sure to check out Koco's Twitch channel. He's playing, what are you playing now? You're playing hockey, you're playing Madden, you're playing Fall Guys. What else are you playing on there that you're failing at?
I fail at them all. I fail at them all. Plus, we're starting a Fire Pro League with Yuri the Black. All right, guys, I love you with all my heart. Listen, I noticed something. We're always going to Twitter, at KocoSports for the questions. Listen, you got to say, I don't know, you can't say fuck you in comments anymore, can you? God damn it, we live in a weird world. All right, say booga booga, Koco. Don't forget about the YouTube comments, and we'll have to do some Stump the Idiots from the YouTube comments. That's what I want. Hopefully that doesn't get us canceled. How about this? Cowabunga! What about us? There's no way that gets it. That's the politically correct way of saying fuck you, Koco. Say Cowabunga, Koco! What about us? And then come up with some YouTube Stump the Idiots. I think that's fair. What do you think?
Works for
Booms?
me.
All right. Did he said like, comment, subscribe. Did you listen to the man? Well, did you? I love you guys. With that, I am over. Hey, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.